This is Sports Federation TV. If you've just tuned in, you've missed a chunk of the show, but don't forget, tomorrow morning you can catch us at 8 o'clock on channel 263, and then also on YouTube on the Sports Fed TV channel. You can catch all the latest and all the past shows, anything that tickles your fancy, from drum majorettes to motocross to hockey to cricket, all kinds of codes of sport we've covered, and there's many more to come. We're joined now in studio by Deon. Are you well, sir?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, good on you?
Nick, you
Very
good?
well, thank you. Thanks
Good,
for having
good.
us here.
You're welcome. These two guys have taken time out of their busy schedule to talk to us about bodyboarding. So we've had surfing, we chatted a bit about tug of war, now we're back into the water. Deon, what's bodyboarding all about? Give us a bit of history, a bit of overview of what bodyboarding is really all about.
Well, it's really all about connecting with the ocean. It's very much an aerial water sport where you, the point is, it's actually just bodyboarding. Sure, it's fun. It's fun. It's surfing. It's the stepping stone to getting in the water for a lot of people.
It's a lot easier to pick up a bodyboard and get in the water.
The learning curve is also, a bit steeper sometimes than surfing, but it is the same structure, the same, and it just comes down to the vehicle you prefer when you're surfing, whether it's a stand-up surfing or a bodyboarding.
And all of this is done as part of Cape Town surfing, Cape Town bodyboarding.
Cape Town bodyboarding, yes. We established ourselves last year. We've actually had a really good year last year. We've actually taken up this year the entire Western Province School League, which we will be running.
Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so we've taken over from
Western Province.
Yeah, from Western Province, and we decided to completely separate it from the actual Western Province because there wasn't actually decent channels for the kids to go from school level into a club level and then onto a provincial level. So now we've introduced this now, and so basically they'll be coming to us. We'll develop, groom them, teach them, and then push them.
You've also got a unifying grouping together now of all the provinces. So logistically, running something like a development school league would require more like a business-orientated mind rather than the provincials. So what's happened before is the provinces themselves didn't quite come together. So we're hoping what we can do is put some passion back into what board riding is all about, getting into the water, parents on the beach, teachers, schools, everything, maybe business themselves will get behind it in the whole bit and get it from a young age.
Is that your driving force, Nick? Is that your involvement in all
Yeah,
of this?
most definitely. I've been doing this 25 years. I've done it
Then
all
you
around.
look older than 25.
Oh, there we go. I started when I was about 15. I'm nearly 40. So, and like I would like to say, I mean, a lot of my friends are parents, and I would like to say, parents, pick up your boards, get down onto the beach with your kids. Doesn't matter if they're 2, 3, stick them on the back, drag them back and forth. It's like a skimboard on a boogie board. You can't do that with a surfboard. You're going to lose your skegs. And it's a wonderful activity as a family to do. It doesn't cost a lot. The beach is free. And that's what we'd like to try and do, start at grassroots level with the schools and try and show people that bodyboarding is alive, and it's a professional sport for a lot of people actually. Deon will vouch for that.
And from an entry level point of view, what's the entry level setup cost?
It's ironically can be, if you buy very professional gear, about as expensive as surfing, if not a little bit more. Cape Town being cold water, you've got to invest in a decent suit. Durban, different story. And then the boards themselves will range from entry level at about 1,800 right up to about 4,000, depending on the quality of the board. And then you'll need flippers, because if you don't have a blade or a flipper, you haven't got the propulsion. So yeah, look, a good setup kit will set you back a couple of grand, but I always advise to parents that if you're going to start at a younger age, look on Gumtree, look on the second-hand websites, talk to the pros, get hold of Storm on Cape Town Bodyboarding via Facebook, see if there's stuff for sale in the whole bit. See if your kid likes the sport before you invest and jump in the deep end. The equipment lasts a lot longer than a surfboard as well, and it can be resold on again, so your residual investment can be sold off. So yeah.
Very good advice, Nick. Deon, we've spoken about bodyboarding, and we still don't know what bodyboarding is all about. Give us the nuts and bolts of bodyboarding. What do you need? How does it happen? We've spoken about the board, we've spoken about a wetsuit, we've spoken about flippers. What do you actually do?
All right, so what you do in bodyboarding
Yep.
is, like the question is a little bit tricky. What you do is basically you're laying on your board and you're paddling to the back line. bodyboarders prefer different ways to surfers. Surfers would prefer a pointy, long wave where they can do big turns. They do a lot of aerials as well. But the bodyboarder looking for fast braking, steep wave, because you can take off a lot later. Your bottom turn is a lot quicker than with a stand-up surface. You don't have to get up, and then so it's a different wave. And then you're looking for that end section, as the wave pitches to do your
aerial moves. Yeah.
Yeah, so you like your backflips, your air reverses, and stuff like that. So it's quite technical. It's very taxing on the body. You need to be supple. You need to train, exercise, work your core. You know, so yeah, and it's just it's very physical. It's very fun, and yeah, that's in a nutshell, if I can say. Just a real quick one.
And basically, it's a small board that you
Correct.
lying on, and you're
Most
basically maneuvering through the
Yeah.
waves and
There's
slam dunk to a degree.
Yeah, there's a bit of a slang analogy to the sport. We got boogie boarding, which commonly goes back to
Barleys.
it goes back to the start of the sport, and that would be classified as holiday makers holding on the front, going down the face of the wave, and then you get professional bodyboarders, and professional bodyboarders. Some of their moves are benchmark moves that have now been caught up by surfers, and the surfers have taken on the passion that we have for throwing ourselves into the air to try to injure ourselves. And you'll see some of the pro surfers now doing big aerial moves, where
Yes.
before, like Deon said, it was really about enjoying the wave and carving and relaxing. And now bodyboarding is not really, when you're on the wave, you push yourself to the limits. And you feel tender the next day.
And it's quite competitive, I'm sure.
It's very competitive. It's a tight community. It's unbelievably competitive. And we've got the world champ at the moment.
What's his name?
Jared Houston.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Yeah. Remember in our previous interview, we had a little video insert of him. And actually, the whole world tour is about to start in Hawaii. The guy's been getting incredible ways. So there's 5 South Africans going to compete in the world tour. And these guys are
We've
great.
got the potential for a junior world champ this year, a
Absolutely.
drop knee world champ. We've got 5 of some of the top board riders
Wow.
competing for this year. So I think South Africa is going to be put on the global map as a bodyboarding mecca. So
Definitely. Deon, tell us a bit about Cape Town bodyboarding. What's happening? What's in the agenda for the next couple of weeks, months?
Yeah, sure. All right, so we've got a really jam-packed year up ahead. So we're going to be running, like I said previously, all the school leagues. With that, we'll be hosting all the Western Province.
Sorry, when is the school leagues happening? How does it happen?
they
Yeah.
start in April.
In April, yes. So it's
And
7?
7 of them
Yes.
over alternative Fridays. They're usually organised and hosted by the schools, and we'll partake in the judging structures and the logistics. And what we are trying to do at the end of the event is to actually have an inter-schools contest, prize money, board
Nice.
brands,
Nice.
and get big business involved. We did well this year at SA Champs as a Cape Town crew. We took Pick and Pay, some big brands with us. We got sponsorships by Toyota by one of the events. It's big money involved. It entices people into the sport when there's a 5 or 6 or 10,000 rand check
For
being
sure.
thrown around.
For sure.
And it just makes it a lot easier for everybody to take the time off to invest. We've also got a launch of a really exciting bodyboarding video that comes from Australia about the development of bodyboarding, that's we're gonna host the rights to show that, and we're gonna integrate that into one of our clinics.
Okay.
Deon knows a bit more about that.
Yeah, so basically we've got the school leagues, like you said, then we've got the Western Province trials, and this event's on the 19th of March. It's a very historical video about a small amount of guys, young kids, which were pioneers 20 years ago, and which we grew up idolizing in the water. And it's specifically focused on this one wave called Shark Island. A lot of the pros, everybody that surfs will know about how insanely dangerous and heavy this wave is, and how these kids will go all hungover and do whatever they
It's
do.
almost unsurfable.
Yeah,
It really is a
they'll just go
bodyboarder's wave.
Smash it, get on it, just people in awe. And it's a story about how they progressed and how they became so influential. Then after that, the national circuit starts. So we'll be hosting the Cape Classic. Then we've got...
When is that?
that's normally just before Easter.
Okay.
Yeah, all
So
in
for the
March.
school holidays, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, we've got a international event, the Tunt Invitational, which is in June. It's about a window of about a month that we keep to get the best winter swell. And then it's on to developing for SA Champs.
And it's exciting this year because SA Champs comes to Cape Town.
When
Bodyboarding
is that?
SA Champs. It will be also around about August time.
October, no, it's in
Oh,
October. Yeah,
it's
in
October,
October,
August.
and it'll be
Nice.
in Honors.
St. Honest, yeah. Which is a lovely beach to hold it at. Potentially a dangerous beach, but a lovely beach to hold it at, and it's going to be a very exciting year for bodyboarding.
Do you have a calendar on your Facebook? How do people get to know about the information?
Absolutely. We've got everything posted on the Cape Town Bodyboarding Facebook Club page. Yeah, so guys can just join there. Everything is there. Everything you need, all the contact details, emails, you name it, and then they can just get in touch personally for personalized coaching, whatever else they need. So everything gets driven off the social media, which we find is the best way to reach the kids and the younger generation, because everybody is on it and everybody uses it. So yeah,
I think one of the things as well that we should probably touch on is that Cape Town Bodyboarding is a club. It's a community. It's a community of bodyboarders. And there's the three of us we've mentioned now, and you've spoken to one of our colleagues, Storm, but we've got 2 pro riders part of the club as well. And one is a professional sports trainer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh. And what we do with that is we actually highlight potential board riders that we think have got huge potential to go like either internationally or provincial. And we do like events, and what we do is we sneak off to these random surf spots that very few people know about. You've heard of Dungeons, the big wave surfing spot. There are little reefs inside that are unsurfable, like inner slab dungeons. And a couple of months ago, what we did is we took a bunch of young professional bodyboarders that didn't even know it existed. We went out on a large format rubber duck with a colleague of ours, and we went to surf this extreme wave. And I must admit, I was the first one in the water, and it's and it's quite amazing. We were amongst all the seals and out there, and the water's just live, it's fresh, and there's these huge waves roll through from deep in the ocean. And you got these young guys around you that are also quite nervous, and you got to egg them on, and you got to get them amped to pull into these what could be quite life-threatening waves. But you're with a bunch of professionals that have been surfing it for a long time.
Sure.
And they got a lot of respect for the ocean, and I think that's what's important. So we've highlighted these trips, and you'll find them also on the Cape Town Bodyboarding Facebook page. And what we do is we say this is an event, and we highlight a few potential people, and we go up the West Coast, we go out to all these random wonderful reefs that Cape Town has to offer.
Wow, Nick, you got so much passion.
Yeah,
That's why I want to do bodyboarding, because of what you've just said.
Yeah.
Deon, in closing, contact details?
Yeah, well, once again, the Facebook page is easiest. And just follow the World Tour this year. It's going to be an amazing tour. We've got young Tristan that might even take a title, second South African in a row. And then Elton, once again, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You guys are most welcome. Come back again.
Yeah, we'll do.
Let's take an ad break and we'll be right back. See you now.